What if your entire understanding of existence is incomplete? Imagine everything you believe about the world, your senses, your perception of time, your sense of self, is just a fragment of a far greater truth. This is not a philosophical exercise. It's a hard confrontation with the limitations of human understanding. Science, psychology, and theoretical physics suggest that reality is stranger, more complex, and infinitely more mysterious than we've ever imagined. Today, we'll look at the layers of what we call reality and challenge every assumption you've ever made. 1. The infinite reflection of knowing. Imagine this. You know a statement X to be true. Then you realize that you know X is true. This creates a cascade, an infinite chain of self-referential knowledge. If you can infinitely know that you know, does this mean that your existence is itself an infinite loop of awareness? Or could it imply that what you consider yourself is merely a byproduct of this endless reflection? This thought experiment raises unsettling questions. If knowing is infinite, does it mean that reality is just a construct of layered awareness? Are you real, or are you simply an endless series of acknowledgements of what is known? In this framework, the distinction between what is real and what is known begins to blur. If you only know yourself because you know, then what lies beyond this recursive loop of understanding? So, is anything truly real, or is reality the product of infinite layers of knowing, each dependent on the other? This paradox leaves us grappling with the nature of existence itself. Is there a foundation beneath the knowing, or is knowing all there is? The boundaries between existence, awareness, and reality dissolve into uncertainty, inviting deeper reflection on what it means to truly be. 2. Your senses are deceiving you, and that changes everything. Your senses, sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell, create a version of reality tailored for survival, not truth. For example, colors do not exist independently. They are your brain's interpretation of light wavelengths. Red is not inherently red, but simply how your brain organizes certain electromagnetic signals. Similarly, sound is nothing more than air vibrations translated into electrical signals in your auditory cortex. The textures you feel are just electromagnetic repulsions between atoms. Neuroscientist David Eagleman famously stated, "Your brain constructs reality." This means that what you see, hear, and feel is an approximation, a simplification of the universe's true nature. For instance, the solidity you feel in objects is an illusion created by electromagnetic forces repelling each other. What we perceive as stable and real is actually in constant flux. This realization is transformative. It reveals that your experiences are not the ultimate truth, but tailored approximations for survival. You navigate a curated version of reality that prioritizes efficiency over accuracy. This raises profound questions. If your senses are limited, what aspects of reality remain completely hidden? And how might these unseen dimensions shape the world you believe you know? But what lies beyond this user interface? Infrared light, ultraviolet rays, and ultrasonic frequencies are all real, but invisible to your senses. Entire dimensions of existence remain hidden because your biology can't detect them. The question isn't whether reality is incomplete, it's how much of it we're missing. 3. Time isn't flowing, it's stacked. You experience time as a continuous flow from past to future, but physics reveals a much stranger reality. Einstein's theory of relativity shows that time is not fixed. It stretches and compresses based on gravity and speed. For example, astronauts aboard the International Space Station age slightly slower than people on Earth due to weaker gravity. This phenomenon, called time dilation, demonstrates that time is relative. Even more astonishing is the idea that time might not flow at all. Physicists like Julian Barber propose that all moments, past, present, and future, exist simultaneously. In this view, what we perceive as the passage of time is an illusion created by our consciousness moving through static snapshots. Each moment exists in a timeless, block universe. This concept challenges the very essence of free will. If all moments are already laid out, then your choices may not create the future, but merely reveal it. However, this does not diminish the significance of your experiences. Instead, it suggests that your perspective, the act of observation, is what gives meaning to an otherwise unchanging reality. In a timeless framework, every moment matters equally, transcending the limitations of linear progress. 4. You're built from stardust and quantum ghosts. The poetic notion that you are made of stardust is scientifically accurate, but woefully incomplete. The atoms in your body were forged in the hearts of ancient stars that exploded billions of years ago. But on a deeper level, you are mostly empty space. If you compressed all the space within the atoms in your body, you would occupy less volume than a grain of rice. Subatomic particles, like electrons, behave in ways that defy intuition. They don't occupy specific locations. Instead, they exist in probability clouds until observed. This means that at a quantum level, observation influences reality. You are not a solid, static entity, but a dynamic interplay of energy and probabilities. Quantum entanglement, one of the most perplexing phenomena in physics, reveals the profound interconnectedness of the universe. When two particles become entangled, the state of one instantly affects the other, regardless of distance. This defies the classical notion of locality, suggesting that space itself might be an emergent property rather than a fundamental truth. What does this mean for you? It challenges the idea of individuality. The particles in your body are not isolated. They are entangled with particles throughout the cosmos. This interconnectedness implies that the boundaries we perceive, between self and other here and there, are constructs of limited perception. In essence, you are not just part of the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself in a localized form. 5. Reality could be a simulation. The concept of living in a simulated reality has evolved from science fiction into serious scientific inquiry. Philosopher Nick Bostrom's simulation argument suggests that if advanced civilizations are capable of creating hyper-realistic simulations and run many of them, it becomes statistically likely that we are living in one of those simulations. Even if this idea seems far-fetched, neuroscience backs up a metaphorical version of it. Your brain is already constructing a simulated reality. Every color you see, every sound you hear, and every texture you feel is your brain's interpretation of electrical signals, not the real external world. This perspective radically alters the way we view existence. If what you perceive is already a construct of your brain, then reality itself is fluid and layered. This doesn't diminish the importance of your experiences. Instead, it reveals the intricate processes behind them. For instance, the world you see when you wake up is not an objective truth, but a filtered interface, customized for your survival. Understanding this can make us question the boundaries of real and constructed. But what if this constructed reality serves a deeper purpose? Simulations, whether literal or metaphorical, offer environments for exploration and growth. By challenging what you take for granted as truth, this idea invites you to look beyond the surface. If reality is not fixed, then possibilities are limitless. It compels us to explore the why behind our perceptions, encouraging us to find meaning in an existence that might be more malleable than we ever imagined. 6. Parallel universes are not just theoretical. The many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics suggests that every decision you make spawns a new universe. In one universe, you pursued a different career. In another, you never met someone who changed your life. These parallel realities coexist, though you're only aware of one. This theory challenges the very nature of selfhood. Are you the singular you, or one of infinite versions existing simultaneously? If every possibility exists, then the weight of regret or missed opportunities diminishes. Your alternate selves may have made different choices, but they are just as valid and real. This idea expands our understanding of existence. If parallel universes are real, then the you in this reality is just one thread in an infinite tapestry. It reframes life's choices not as linear progressions, but as interconnected possibilities, each equally significant. 7. Your brain constructs reality. Your brain is not a passive observer. It actively shapes the version of reality you experience. Every sight, sound, and sensation is constructed by your brain, filtering raw data into something coherent and manageable. For example, studies on change blindness reveal how easily your mind can miss large alterations in your environment if it's not focused. Your brain chooses what to prioritize, often at the expense of accuracy. Even your memory, which feels like a solid foundation of identity, is far from reliable. Every time you recall an event, your brain rewrites parts of it, influenced by your current emotions and beliefs. This means that memories are dynamic and malleable, shaped more by your present understanding than the actual past. What you hold as personal truth could be a story reinterpreted over years of recollection. This constant editing highlights that reality is subjective, constructed for survival rather than truth. Recognizing this doesn't make your experiences less meaningful. It empowers you to question your assumptions. Understanding how your brain creates reality allows you to critically evaluate your perspective and even reshape it when necessary. It's not about undermining your experiences, but about exploring how deeply your mind influences the world you think you know. 8. The universe defies human intuition. Modern physics challenges every assumption about the nature of existence. String theory posits that the universe is composed of vibrating strings existing in up to 11 dimensions. Meanwhile, dark matter and dark energy, which comprise 95% of the universe, remain completely mysterious. Even space and time, which seem fundamental, may be emergent properties rather than foundational truths. Physicist John Wheeler famously said, "Reality is not a something, it's a process." This suggests that what we perceive as solid and unchanging is actually dynamic and fluid. The more we learn about the universe, the clearer it becomes that human intuition is ill-equipped to grasp its true nature. Reality isn't just stranger than we imagine, it's stranger than we can imagine. 9. How should you live with this knowledge? If everything you know about reality is incomplete or incorrect, what should you do? First, embrace uncertainty. Recognizing the limits of your understanding is not a weakness, it's a strength that opens the door to growth. Second, cultivate curiosity. Instead of clinging to old paradigms, remain open to new ideas and perspectives, even when they challenge your beliefs. Finally, find meaning not in certainty, but in exploration. The mysteries of existence are not obstacles to overcome, but invitations to engage with life more deeply. By embracing the unknown, you free yourself from the constraints of rigid thinking and discover a richer, more expansive reality. The universe may not be what you expected, but it is endlessly fascinating. If you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.